Hello, it is me again. We are going to talk about commonalities amongst religions and religious belief systems. I'm going to go through two of them in this video and then the rest of them in the next video. We're going to start with cosmogony. Do you know what that funky word means? It's this. These are the beliefs related to the origin of the universe, the world, the planet, the people, or the religion itself. Do you have any ideas on this? As in religious beliefs about how the world started? Well, this is Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel representation in Rome of God on the right-hand side giving life to Adam, and then as a result of that, starting the human race. If you watched my introduction video to this module, you know that I talk about this a little bit. This is Adam and Eve, Adam on the left-hand side, Eve on the right-hand side, and then the serpent representing Satan climbing up the tree and the apple. This is part of Judeo-Christian Islamic cosmogony. I know you know this symbol, yin and yang. It shows up all the time in the West with the capital W as opposed to the East with the capital E. This comes from Chinese philosophy like Confucianism and ethnic religions like Taoism. And what the belief is that from the very beginning of the universe, from the foundation of the universe, these forces, yin and yang, reside in all parts of the universe, including you and me. Those are the characteristics. Take a look at them. Then within Hinduism, there's the emergence of Lord Vishnu from the water, and then the beginning of time. And of course, there's many, many others. Within American indigenous cultures, in both North and South America, and of course there were thousands of these at one point, there are lots and lots and lots of different cosmogonies. One of my favorites is depicted in a book called The Storyteller by Mario Vargas Llosa, who's from Peru. And he tells the origination story of the Machiganga, an Amazonian indigenous group. It's a really great book. Very difficult to read, but if you ever get a chance to read it, give it a shot. How about commonalities amongst religions and religious belief systems that are tied to calendrical ceremonies? You know what that means? These are important dates throughout the year, sometimes tied to specific physical and or astronomical events. Can you think of any? An important religious date throughout the year? How about this one? Christmas, tied to Christianity, December 25th for most versions of Christianity. Now, of course, just like Christianity has a whole variety of calendrical ceremonies, Islam does too. And with Islam, one of the most important ones is Ramadan, which goes on for about a month. Now, this changes every year because Islam uses a lunar calendar. You see these people eating, you're supposed to fast during the day, during Ramadan, if you're a Muslim, and then at night they have a feast to break the fast, which is what you see happening there. Within Judaism, there's a holiday called Yom Kippur, and again, within Judaism, there are lots of other calendrical ceremonies and important days, but this is a very important one because it's so solemn. It's the Day of Atonement, in other words, making up for the negative things that you did throughout the year. Now, again, this moves a little bit because Judaism operates on a lunisolar calendar, in other words, the moon and the sun. Within Buddhism, there are a number of holidays also that are tied to the calendar, including Siddhartha's birth. Siddhartha is the person who founded Buddhism and his enlightenment. He was the first person to become enlightened. But the dates vary with the form of Buddhism, because there's different forms of Buddhism in the world, and then the location of Buddhism, in other words, what country it's in. How about the solstices? You can see the sun rising there. I took this picture on June 21st, which was the summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere. So the summer solstice on June 21st in the Northern Hemisphere initiates the first day of summer. This is the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere and the shortest night of the year. December 21st is the winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere. And that means that this is the first day of winter, December 21st it would be. And this is the shortest day of the year and the longest night of the year. Now, in the Southern Hemisphere, this is opposite. So the June solstice would actually be the shortest day of the year and the longest night of the year, and the December solstice would be the longest day of the year and the shortest night of the year. The equinoxes happen on September 22nd and March 20th. These initiate seasons also in the Northern Hemisphere. The September equinox initiates fall, and the March equinox initiates spring. Every place on Earth on both of these days receives 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness, hence the name equinox, meaning equal night, every place on earth. And of course, there are other calendrical ceremonies. Diwali in Hinduism, the Lunar New Year, which is based on Chinese religion and Chinese philosophy, Inti Raymi, sun god ceremony in Peru, and many, many others.